Twin Block Productions.
Wheel
full.
I ain't gotta say.
Yep. Key in. Wheel full. We running everything. Key in. Watch my Wheel full. Everything. Key in. Wheel full. We running everything. Gripping grain in that candy thing. Switching lanes, leaning. With your dame, don't know her name. And getting Bobby Heenan. Steaming, I gotta be high like a pasta feast. Looking down at you commas. And getting some like Shana. Hands to your honor. While I'm stepping out in the corners. From Nicaragua. Iced out like frozen agua. If I smile, it'll give you the chills. Don't dial if it ain't about the bills. Not to mention our drills. Making you feel good all over like Stephanie Mills. When I grab a Seville, you know when the deal. Just like I'm on the wheel. On a mission for meals, you missing some meals. Hold my arms on like Neil. Coming down, ain't fat.
Continuing the way these fuck boys gonna be following in a few years of Street Smark Audio. Hollywood and the Food, August 20th, 2017. What's going on, champ?
Not much, man. Just trying to ride the wave that these fuck boys are going to be trying to continue in a few years, but the waters was a little choppy, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, you know, I'm good. How you doing?
For the viewing audience, for the 35 subscribers, to include Big Black Booty Daddy. What's up?
What's happening, Big Black Booty Daddy?
My partner in crime is talking about how I fucked up the intro like 2 times.
That's precisely what I'm talking about. Like a goof.
Nah, it happens.
Like a curtain jerker.
Speaking of jerking the curtain, we got a lot of stuff to talk about real quick. All right, first off, my favorite wrestler of all time is fucked up.
And my second, well, I won't say he's my second favorite, but he's probably the second greatest wrestler to me. But yeah, some sad news in the wrestling world right now.
All right, so courtesy of, we'll say, Wikipedia.
We'll say you could pick out any.
Yeah, on August 14th, 2017, Ric Flair had surgery in Georgia to remove an obstructive piece of his bowel.
Holy moly.
Which led to various more complications, most seriously kidney failure, necessitating dialysis treatment and ongoing hospitalization. All right, so as of right now, as of the 20th, he's awake. He was put in a medically induced coma, and he's had multiple organ failures during the surgery to remove the poo from his bowels.
The poo.
Meltzer, he had an obstruction in his bowel.
I'm just saying poo. I didn't realize we were doing the K through 7 demographic here.
Well, I got a newborn.
Oh, well, you know what? You had a newborn last week too, in your very vulgarity-laden rendition of our podcast. So I was wondering what the poo was all about. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Well, I mean, I have to say I am a podcast journalist.
Okay. You're cleaning it up now. You're going.
No.
Oh, okay. All right, just wondering.
Just for the sake for the 35 and to include Big Black Booty Daddy. All right, so they put him in a coma to make sure that none more of his organs fail. But he's awake. During yesterday's edition of Wrestling Observer Radio, Mr. Six Stars Dave Meltzer added the following regarding Flair's current condition after surgery. Quote, Flair had an external pacemaker Flair had an external pacemaker put in to help his heart. And the last I heard is that his heart is beating normally. So that is a positive. I'm going to add some you-knows and some stutters to replicate Meltzer. And he's on kidney dialysis. You know, it's definitely better than it was Tuesday, when things looked really bad. But it's still a rough go, you know, and it's going to be a rough go for a while, you know. But he still got a bad infection. ... So you know, it was a whole bunch of stuttering, and you know, I don't know what the infection is. I know they did not know before, you know, and they may not know. They may know now, but I think there's been a problem as far as fans giving him antibiotics, or not fans. I'm sorry, but I think there's been a problem as far as giving him antibiotics because of his weakened condition. So it's a bad situation. End quote.
Damn. That sounds serious.
Flair's surgery reportedly led to other complications, and he could end up staying in the hospital for more than a month. So just in time for the fall equinox. Meltzer clarified during yesterday's radio that at no time during Flair's current hospitalization that did the Nature Boy suffer a heart attack. The initial pain Flair was feeling due to the obstruction in his bowel, which prompted Flair to go to the hospital on Friday night, and he underwent surgery to have the obstruction removed. I'm fucking up on the reading shit, like I'm hooked on phonics and shit. But yeah, Flair's fucked up. So thoughts and prayers going out to the man.
For sure. Wow, I didn't realize he had all that going on as far as, you know, the whole dialysis thing and the pacemaker thing.
Well, you figure he was a hard drinker. So either his liver fucking was gonna fail or his kidneys was gonna fail. You know what I'm saying? He was on the road 300 days a year for 20 years.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of coke in those 80s. You know what I'm saying? So
I imagine so.
A lot of steroids, possibly, alleged cocaine use. He was hanging with Piper. Alleged steroid use. I mean, he went up to Vince, and he looked kind of good when he was up there in Vince in '91. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, he had the saggy tit thing going on for, like, ever. And then he come up to New York, and next thing you know, he's kind of buff.
Yeah. Yeah. That was one of the things I noticed when I told you I was watching his match with Randy Savage at WrestleMania not too long ago. It's one thing I noticed.
Very cosmetically appealing during those years.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that, I mean, both of those things can lead to an enlarged heart. Not to mention that, he wrestled 60 minutes, so that's obviously, you know, he's got a good... It's kind of funny that they said he put a pacemaker in, but he worked 60 minutes every night, twice on Sunday, twice on Saturday, you know, for years. Now, he's 68.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while. I know he's putting in, you know, when he was in TNA, he was putting in a hot 10. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy to me that Flair, they haven't found a use for him in these last several years. It's, you know, they did a little angle to, you know, to give Charlotte the rub. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I mean, he could be a manager, right? You know?
Yeah. Does he want to be a manager, though?
He wants to die in the ring. I have the 13-hour Ric Flair shooter interview. You know what I'm saying? I might throw it up on the non-extreme project just for the listeners.
So was Flair ever one of those guys when he was younger who disliked the older guys who were probably past their prime and who you know how young wrestlers feel like some of the older wrestlers be in the way and stuff?
I have his book. I have his WWE book. So, you know, he loves Vince McMahon. He loves Shawn Michaels. He loves Triple H in that book. You know what I mean? It came out probably around 02, 03 when they were doing all the books. You know what I'm saying? When Hogan came out with his WWE book. You know what I'm saying? Austin, Rock, everybody was coming out with their books. And Flair came out with his. He never really stated that he was one of those guys who held a vendetta against the older generation.
Okay.
Or the previous generation of his. I mean, he grew up idolizing Buddy Rogers. I mean, he grew up idolizing Dusty Rhodes. I mean, he came into business as Ricky Rhodes, so...
Yeah.
So that's not something I would think... It never felt like... I never got the idea that he was these guys are clamoring and holding on to their spot. It was like, you know what? I'm going to make myself somebody in this territory. And when I'm made enough money and I'm over enough, I'm going to go to another territory and prove myself. And I mean, that's kind of the way it should be.
And I feel that, and even if he did feel that way, I wouldn't feel like he was being hypocritical because, you know what I'm saying, like I've heard it said that my guy Hulk Hogan used to be one of those guys.
Oh.
So, but you know.
Can you blame him?
No, that's exactly what I was getting to.
No.
You know, I can't find that.
Between 84 and we'll discuss the 84-88 run. Who do you job him to?
Some people felt like he should have jobbed to Jake the Snake Roberts.
That's funny you should mention that. I met Jake. Jake's coming to the Cleveland Comic-Con in October. Free plug. I met Jake last.
You're welcome.
Right. I met Jake last year's Comic-Con. Mm-hmm. I asked him a question. I said, yo, I saw the Pick Your Poison DVD. Or, you know what I'm saying? His little bio back in the day. Like 02. I said, and you told the story how y'all did some house shows. So you hit Hogan with the DDT, but the fans cheered. And they didn't cheer for Hogan. And they killed the angle before it can get to TV. What was the deal with that? So Jake kind of hems and haws around it. And then I just say, was Hogan the man? He says Hogan's the man. But I said, but was he really over? I said, because I can see, because I asked him, I said, Jake, it'll be different if you hit the DDT on him, you know what I'm saying, in one of your old territories. If you were down in Mid-South or in Georgia and you hit the DDT. Uh-huh. I can see you getting that heel pop. You know what I'm saying? The fans respect you. You know what I'm saying? Hogan really wasn't down there. I mean, he was down there, but I mean, he really made his name in Minneapolis and obviously New York. He was an undercard Jamook and working for the Fullers and working for Barnett. So I can see if Jake goes over, you know what I'm saying, down there, the fans will pop. Makes sense.
Right.
He said, no. This is not Madison, but this is in Allentown. You know what I'm saying? This is in Vince's backyard.
Okay.
So he's dropping the DDT on him in Vince's backyard where Hogan is supposed to be the man. And he's getting the boos. Vince was like, fuck that. Gotta put the kibosh on that. You know? Mm-hmm. So I got the picture. Let me tell you. So I got the picture. With, I had to spend some money because he worked me, obviously, for the picture.
Right.
We take one picture. I take a picture with the click sign. Take a picture, and he sticks his middle finger up. But the chick who took the picture, I think she was his handler or whatever.
Okay.
Big fucking titties. She had like the biggest fucking titties I've ever seen.
Oh, come on, somebody.
You know what I'm saying? White chick too. She was a button.
Okay.
But her titties. I was like, yo. I wish I could have fucked that broad.
Real or fake, you think?
No, they was definitely real.
Oh man.
They was definitely real. Like she was strapped. You know what I'm saying? Like I would say, and she was tall too. She was like 5'11", 6 foot.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah.
Get a ladder for you, girl. Oh, shoot, I'm about 6 feet myself. But
I hope I hope she there next year. If she there next year, I might have to step to her and beat it up. Sorry, Jake. I might have to put the soul pole to your handler because she was definitely feeling the boy.
Oh man, he gonna put you in the DDT and that short arm clothesline.
I might have to take one for the team and hit that pussy. I'm just saying.
I take it we're not letting Mrs. Fooch listen to this episode.
Oh no! I'd say, yo, can I hit the chick? She says, "Oh yes."
Well, hey, if you're gonna get married, might as well get married with that kind of thing in place.
If she say no, then it's no. But if she say yes, then it's a yes. I'm just saying. You gotta roll the dice. But as long as I'm honest about it, I mean, I can go hit the broad. You know what I'm saying?
And just take it to your grave and shit.
Right, I can do that. But what's the point? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, especially if you're married, I feel it.